of Indo-American community to share their wisdom, knowledge, and what they are good at. As a part of this, I just have today one of the esteemed guests, Mr. Shashwat. How are you, Shashwat?
I'm good, Mr. Puram. First, I would just like to say hello, good morning, and good evening to those overseas. And I would like to thank Mr. Puram for this wonderful opportunity of letting me speak about my passion, finance.
Thank you. Thank you for Spearsoft and also the Ready CPA for sponsoring this program, without which we could not publish so many podcasts. Coming to the show, why I chose Shashwat. Shashwat is a young high schooler. He is 12th grade studying in Lambert School. I will let him introduce more, but he has a passion at this young age in finance, investment, stocks, whatnot. Then that got inspired me while I was talking to him during a community event. And I thought definitely bring him on this show and inspire people on what he is doing at this young age. With no further delay, Shashwat, why don't you introduce yourself to the audience and tell your journey in the finance?
Okay. So, hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Shashwat Agarwal. I'm a 12th grader in Lambert High School in Georgia. And my favorite hobbies are martial arts and I love playing soccer. And in the night, I like to do a little bit of finance learning. I would watch a couple of videos, do a few courses. So far, I've written two research papers, and I actually have a blog called shashwatfinanceideas.blog, where I frequently post some financial concepts on it.
Excellent. Shashwat, tell more about your parents, where they are from, and what do they do? Which location are you? And tell us more about your family background.
Yes, so my dad is from Uttar Pradesh. He's currently in the room across from me. And he's an IIT graduate, and he helps me a lot in studying finance, as he knows a lot about the technical side of trading. My mom is from New Delhi, same as me. I was born in New Delhi, and she is currently managing a family business. And my sister is currently 14 years old. She just started ninth grade, and she's lovely.
Excellent. So it's very clear that you have adapted the finance from your dad. Is that true?
Yeah.
Okay. So Shashwat, in this young age, right? Typically, the Indo-American family will be very, very away from the finance, right? So
Yeah.
what made you interest in learning the finance?
So ever since I was a kid, I've been extremely interested in owning a business one day. And I know that the financials of a business are the most important part of it. And without the financial knowledge, I could eventually end up failing.
Excellent. So, do you think that your dad inspired you or guided you during your early age?
Oh, yes, definitely. Like my dad, although he is an IT professional, he guides me like a lot on the technical side of investments. He kind of has a lot of understanding of it. He has a big understanding of it.
Excellent. So before going into finance, I just wanted to little bit touch about your academics, right? So you are born in Delhi and you are now in United States of America, that too in Georgia
Yep.
in Lambert High School. Tell us more your experience being an Indo-American, right? Or in this country. How has your how has your experience been with the other Americans throughout your journey? Did you feel comfortable, or were there any thoughts in your mind during this journey?
Um, I'm actually very comfortable. I love it here, and I think I have a lot of opportunities here. And I actually have a lot of American friends. I have a lot of different cultural friends, and they support me very much.
Excellent. Did you ever feel that you have multicultural, right? So you have your Indian culture from your parents and the culture from America when you are at school or with your friends or something. So did you ever have any conflicts in the culture, or did you enjoy both the cultures, or being proud to have both the cultures? What went into your minds when your parents force on the one culture and you see the society having different culture where you play, study with your American friends. Tell us your little bit experience, 1 minute, so that everyone knows what kind of cultural behavioral changes how the young is and youth is undergoing.
Yeah, so I'm comfortable with both the cultures. I've adapted quite well to the American culture, and I still follow my Hindu culture. And I think I can manage them both very well. And I don't think I've ever had a conflict with those cultures colliding. And I love American holidays, like let's say Halloween. Halloween is coming up October 31st. I love the holiday a lot. And then let's say my cultural holiday, Diwali. November 1st. I love it a lot. It doesn't collide and it gets me excited.
Excellent. What's your percentage of the Indo-Americans in your classroom versus the Americans and the other cultures? What's the percentage people, general approximate, an approximate figure?
Approximately in my school, I would say, is 60% of Indo-Americans. Um, a lot of them are from India. A lot of them are from India in my class, personally. Uh, hmm. In
Excellent.
the school, like that's for my class. In the school, I would say maybe 20%, as a lot of the Indians were born in America. So,
Excellent. So, Shashwat, tell me a typical day since you started your high school. Tell me your typical day, how your day looks like, and how do you balance from the financial concepts versus your school routine?
yeah, so definitely. I mean, schoolwork is a lot of work. It can definitely get quite overwhelming sometimes. So what I would do is that once I come back from school, I finish all of my schoolwork. In the evening, I go to pickleball or do some martial arts.
Mhm.
And after that, in the night, I save a little bit of time, like 30 to 40 minutes, watch a couple of videos, do a couple of courses, sit down with my dad and learn a few new financial concepts.
Excellent. So tell us more about now coming to the, before I go to finance, last question I would ask is what kind of activities do you have in school? I heard that there are little groups, right? DECA, and you have different groups. Have you been participated in those groups? And by any chance, are you in the leadership team of those groups? Tell us more about those groups and what is your
So
participation?
there are a couple of groups out there like DECA, FBLA. I personally am currently in FBLA. I have been in FBLA since 10th grade, 11th grade, and currently in 12th grade. And I am a frequent participant in these activities, and I participate everywhere that I can get. And I think that FBLA is like absolutely great. Um, and I mean, I'm gonna leave it there because I'm currently not in a leadership position, but I'm a very frequent participant. I have been to the competitions like RLC, FLC, etc. And I think it's a great environment.
Excellent. So what do you mean by FBLA? To the In the interest of audience to get more insight about them, what is FBLA and what kind of
So
activities you see?
FBLA is short for Future Business Leaders of America,
Hmm.
and it is a business and finance club. It is actually one of the most popular clubs in my school with over 400 members. And usually you do a lot of activities, a lot of drives actually, a lot of drives helping out the community. And then sometimes you also have competitions and you get to pick certain activities, what you want to do in the competitions, like you want to make a new software or you want to make a new business or something. And you present in front of judges and they rate you and you get your ratings in the end and see if you made it to states or not.
Excellent. What kind of voluntary activities you participate, Shashwat, during your high school?
So for volunteer activities, I speak Hindi, so I've actually taught Hindi to students like third graders, second graders. I've taught Hindi there, and then currently I'm in an internship. So over there we do called JA volunteering,
Hmm.
and where we go to middle schools and help out a little bit, help the communities out. So that's my main volunteering.
Excellent. Excellent. So now tell us more about the finance, right? So
Yep.
you go to special classes or you are a self-taught?
So in my school, Lambert High School, there is a CPAE, Business and Finance pathway, where the first year course is Intro to Business Software, and
Mm-hmm.
the second course is Personal Finance.
Mm-hmm.
I took Personal Finance in 11th grade, and I think it was great because a lot of my financial concepts I know right now are actually from there. And also, I kind of am also self-taught as well, as I use YouTube and Udemy and Finviz and etc.
So probably you are a YouTuber. Mostly you learn things from YouTube, right?
No, mostly learned from the class, but some of my concepts also do come from YouTube and Udemy.
So how do you apply these personal accounting to your daily life? Do you help your dad or mom in the financial activities at home?
So I would say managing my own expenses, like budgeting, is one of the biggest lessons I know in personal finance. And it is extremely important. I've actually told my parents on how to budget a little bit based on my knowledge of what I learned from classes and the courses. And I think it's very important. Know this.
Excellent. So typically you are a budget minded, right? So when your dad or mom buys something, do you interfere and say, "Hey, you're crossing the budgets"? Do you do that?
Sometimes, but not all the times. But definitely, I do think of it. I do think about it and tell them. It's mostly for me though. I mostly budget for myself as I can use these lessons later on in life when I become an adult.
Excellent. I'm sure that you are going to the undergrad and you are already in a line of personal accounting and whatnot on the finance. So how do you
Mhm.
keep up your knowledge from the financial investment stocks perspective? How do you keep up your knowledge today?
Yeah, I mean, there is a lot of information on the internet. It's very overwhelming. And I would say a few sources I actually recommend are Bloomberg, Yahoo
Mhm.
Finance, Finwiz, etc. These couple of sources right here actually give you the accurate information, they give the daily financial news, and keep you on track. And they don't overwhelm you.
Excellent. So have you ever made some financial decisions at home today?
Today, okay, at home, yes, I do. It's mainly budgeting. And I think budgeting is a very important thing. It's one of the biggest lessons I think I can talk about in personal finance, and it's very important. Yes, I do budget a lot.
So
Every time I
when
spend
you
money.
say budget, the personal saving money given to you, you do the budgeting, or you help your father doing the budgeting, your dad?
The money I get, I do budgeting, and sometimes when my parents buy something, I usually think about it, look at it, and try to talk to them about what we can do different.
Do you also do some research for them when you are buying any item, electronics or anything in the house? Do you do some research?
Yeah, I do some research, definitely, yes. I usually depends. If it's electronics, I might go to Best Buy or I might go to Amazon and see how much they cost. And I might compare it to like how much we can spend or not. So yes.
Excellent. So there are so many things coming in, Shashwat. For example, if you are buying groceries, right?
Yep.
You have Amazon, you have electronics. There are so many things. Online shopping is going on, and definitely keeping track of the budgets is it's become very tedious. So, do you have any strategic tools which you use today to budgetize or watch for stocks or investments? What kind of tools you use today?
Yes, so for budgeting, if you go on you can like follow like a quick ratio, like a couple of percentage, like it depends. You want to buy needs rather than wants. And I think that's really important because you don't want to waste all your money on wants because you need to save that for needs first. And for the investments, I think I use TradingView. TradingView is I love TradingView because TradingView gives the whole markets everything for free and has a ton of indicators if you want to test it out or try it out. And I also use Finviz, which has great screeners. So when you look at a company, it gives you a lot of information about them and it shows the right indicators and right data to use for them.
Excellent. So, Shashwat, at your age, you are looking for companies, you're looking for stocks, you're looking for a lot of strategic tools to do make some decisions. Don't you feel pressure that you are doing something which needs to be done maybe after graduation or a master's, right? In our lives, typically we handle more budget after our when we start earning.
Yeah.
Typically the life. But in your case, you started doing that in very early in a high school. Don't you? How do you manage this pressure?
So I would say fear of failure because when I was little, I wanted to own a business, and if I want to make it successful and not fail again and again and again, I need to know a lot about finance as it is kind of the foundation of starting a business. And also, I mean, learning about finance like for 30, 40 minutes every day, like for some time every day, it makes me excited.
Excellent. So tell me more. Are there any financial concepts like budgeting, credits, investments, right? That you would think that high schoolers should learn?
Yes, budgeting. Because a lot of times when I go to high school, I see people like just carelessly spend their money. Like when I talk to them face to face, they're like, "Oh, I bought this. Oh, I bought that." And I mean, it's like they want to buy wants rather than needs, and it like it doesn't make sense too much because I feel like if they learn about budgeting earlier on in their life, they can use it later on when they become adults, and it can actually prove to be very beneficial.
So, do you think the concepts of your personal accounting in your school, right, today, a normal course, is it enough for every high schooler to get to your knowledge, or do you need to do something more?
So I'll take personal finance as the course. Okay. I mean, yes, personal finance is great. It talks a lot about credit, debit, budgeting, but it doesn't focus too much on the long-term investing, like analyzing side of the investment side. For that, I actually did do courses on it to Udemy. And so no, I don't think if you just take that, it'll be enough, but definitely it will be a lot. You will definitely increase in financial knowledge.
Excellent. You spoke about wants versus needs. From your perspective, what is a want? What is a need? How do you judge? And what will be your suggestion to everyone? What is a want versus need?
Okay. So I would say let's just take a need, for example, okay? A need would be something like, oh, I need to buy groceries. I need to get shelter, right? A roof over my head. That would be a need, something that you actually need in order to make your life, easier or live properly. A want is something that you don't necessarily need, but you just get it. Like let's just say this drone, for example. I don't think if you see
Drone.
it, but you don't need the drone. I mean, it's there for entertainment, but you don't need it. So that's what you consider a want.
But I feel really proud of you because at this age you are making that judgment. Because typically in a high school you want everything, right? You want a drone, you want an Apple Watch, you want an Apple phone, you want everything what you see, right?
Yeah,
But
thank you.
that's important. I think this is what I feel that everyone should think: a need versus a want. That's a very good explanation, Shashwat. I
Thank you.
think. You have been learning a lot of courses on investments, financial, and all those kinds of stuff. Does that change your perspective on money today in this world? How did that change your perspective by spending or whatever you do?
Yeah, so after my journey into finance, I've started to look at money in different ways. I've been wanting to save a lot more and budget properly so that my future can turn out better. Is change my view on the world by bringing in the game of the financial markets and stocks and how to buy and sell them.
So how do you have a lot of knowledge on this financial concepts, right? So how do your peer feels, right? For example, in your class, there might be some people who are already chosen personal accounting or personal financing. So definitely you are ahead of the curve. If I learn from you, from your thought process, from your learnings, from your way you talk, how do they feel when they talk to you? They feel proud of you, or they feel, you know, how do you take that?
Yeah, they feel quite proud of me and they think I'm quite fit for this industry and for the support and motivate me. They don't usually find it unusual when I say I want to I want to go into the industry of finance because usually a lot of times I talk about stocks and the current financial markets and they're kind of used to it. So
Does they bully you on this anytime?
no, no,
No?
they do not bully me. No.
Excellent. So I have heard that you have also written two white papers, right? I
Yeah.
really feel proud to ask you this question because at your age, writing a white paper is definitely something we need to discuss and make bring that to the light so that others inspire from you. So, what kind of white papers you have written? Before that, if we take a step back, I wanted to know what triggered or what inspired you to write this white paper.
Okay. So for beginners or enthusiasts in investing, I believe that they shouldn't have to pay so much money for a course and when I can just write something and give it to them for free because in the end, I'm just trying to help out the community by sharing the knowledge I know with them. So, and if you're getting papers, my first paper is actually on an analysis of Apple and Nvidia, their 10K statements for long-term investment.
Mhm.
And my second paper is actually a stock trading strategy using technical analysis, where I talk about intraday trading using indicators such as moving average or MACD, moving average, convergence, divergence, or Bollinger Bands, etc.
Wow, even I don't know those terms. Shashwat. You really scared me now. Tell us more to a layman terms, right? So, what kind of analysis you did between Apple and Nvidia, and what was your conclusion on that?
Yes, so of course, I mean, when I read these 10K statements, I look at a couple of things, corporate governance, revenue, etc. And I put that in an analysis in a page or two for every company. And in the conclusion, I tell you whether Apple is a good company to invest in or Nvidia is a good company to invest in. And I say how and why. And
Excellent.
if you wanna get the results on the conclusions, I guess you'll just have to read my paper.
Absolutely. So, where can anyone look at your white papers? Do you have a website?
Yes, I actually do. ShashwatfinanceIdeas.blog. I actually have posted my two research papers on there and I've titled them as well.
So, as of today, Shashwat, are you in a position to say this stock is doing good? This stock should be invested for a short term, long term. So, how confident are you today with your knowledge? Tell the audience about that confidence.
I would say I am pretty confident. I mean, I know how to analyze a 10K statement. I might not be the best, like the people like 20 or 30 years experience, but I still do have a general understanding and knowledge on how to invest in them and how to and what to look for them. And I would say I'm pretty confident, yes.
So, can you invest in stocks now at this age?
Unfortunately, no. I'm currently 17. I'm waiting till I'm 18 so I can get my own account and
So, you help your dad in that, analyzing the
some,
stocks?
sometimes yes, I do.
So, he invests based on your suggestion or recommendation?
He has his own knowledge as you know, me and my dad sit together and touch up on financial concepts and investment strategies. He knows his own knowledge, so usually he does his own trading and investing. But sometimes, yes, I would go in his room and talk to him about it and see what's fit and what's not.
So, your dad, based on your discussion with your dad, do you think that your dad will go with your words on the stocks recommendation? How did you feel when you talk to your dad? He feels he gives respect to your recommendation, or still he debates on those stocks? What kind of
Yeah,
vibes?
he definitely gives respect. I mean, he does tell me sometimes what changes I can make. And but a lot of times, if I do want to invest in something, he supports me. And he might see it as fit as well. He wants to invest in something, and I say as well.
Excellent. So, two questions I wanted to ask you for the benefit of the community and the younger generation than you. Do you think what is, from your perspective, what is a good time for any kid to learn more about the financial concepts? And second thing, I would ask you, today's curriculum in high school, is it sufficient for anyone to have this financial literacy?
Okay, so there is no specific age, I would say, where you have to actually start learning this. I would say if you're actually passionate and curious about this, then definitely go ahead and start your journey. But if you're not passionate and you're not curious about this, then it's fine. Take your time because in life, there's no certain age to start everything. And about the high school part, about the school part, um, I think that in my school, my personal finance class is great, but there might be some schools out there where courses like this are not available. And I think they should definitely start to employ courses like these.
Excellent. So, where do you see yourself heading in the world of finance in the next few years?
So first, I want to go to college and pursue a business and finance degree.
Mhm.
After that, I want to work in a company as a financial analyst. And then after my reign in the corporate world, I want to eventually start my own business with the skills and knowledge I learned from being in the corporate world.
Do you have any age in mind when you are going to become entrepreneur?
No, not no age in mind. I'm just whenever I feel confident and comfortable with my skills.
Excellent. Excellent. I think that's a good goal to have. So, what are your long term goals, right? Where do you want to work? If you want to work, like, do you want to work on the Wall Street, or do you have anything in mind? And then, what you want to, what your long term goal in your mind?
So my long-term goals in finance is to become an entrepreneur.
Hmm.
But first, I have to start with finance and kind of develop a strong foundation and skill set. But if given a chance, I will definitely grab an opportunity to work on Wall Street as that will give me good exposure and a very strong foundation. Also, an entrepreneur's greatest asset is his contacts. So it'll give me better contacts.
Excellent. I think you tapped on the right thing, contacts, network.
Yep, that work.
I look at it very powerfully because when you have the network, when you have contact, when you are confident to speak, you can achieve anything. So
Mhm.
my advice is wherever you are, whatever you do, whichever concept you pick, your network, confidence, and speaking abilities will enable you in your life. Keep that in mind, and you will definitely tell me after 10 years, Uncle, you have given a very nice advice. Okay.
Yeah.
So, who is your mentor in the financial role? Who is your mentor or a model in your life?
So I would say by my biggest mentor slash idol is Warren Buffett. I mean, he's a genius. I mean, he came from almost nothing to he's now smart and he's rich. And my second mentor is my dad. He knows a lot about the technical side of stock trading and he teaches me a lot as well.
Excellent. I will catch hold of you after this to make some progress in my life on investing, Shasha. You and your dad should
Ah,
help me. All right.
oh,
Okay. So, what advice, before advice, I would ask you the tools, right? So, when you're talking about financial analysis, technical analysis, today's trend, AI models, right? Have you gone there to know more about AI models? I know we have been discussing this during our conversation.
yeah.
So there are so many things we could do with AI. Right now, you are doing manually analysis of technical analysis or the financial analysis of any companies. Were you thinking of implementing some models in AI which can really enable your thoughts in future?
I mean, I've been thinking about it. I don't know the best way to employ it as I'm pretty comfortable with manually analyzing them. Um, and usually a lot of times for my analyzation, I do also use FinRiz, which is, as I said before, a great tool. It gives me a bunch of various financial and technical indicators and gives me a lot of information basically.
So you think, right? Right now, you're manual, you're okay.
Yeah, for now, I think manual, but hopefully in the future, if I do get more comfortable with AI and using AI, I will definitely love to employ this in AI as it can save a lot of time, and I can easily analyze a lot of companies at once.
Thank you. That's a great confidence, Shashwat. But my advice would be you should start thinking on AI today.
Okay.
By the
Yeah.
time you get on to your graduation, you should be in a next level using all
Yep.
these tools. You are becoming an SME, right? Any tool without an SME is useless for me. If you
Yeah.
have the knowledge and apply the tool, optimize, increase the efficiency, then you will be more successful. That's great.
Yeah.
So, what would be your piece of advice to all the high schoolers from the finance and investment perspective?
So my advice would be if you're truly passionate about finance, definitely go chase it. Get as much knowledge as you can. It'll definitely help you out in the future. If you're a little bit, I would say a little bit nervous, a little bit intimidated to start, definitely take your time. You have time. Take your time. Start up slow, learn fundamentals, spend some time every week and just catch up.
Excellent, excellent, Jashwin. So, do you have in mind that doing some kind of speaking abilities in the investment or the financial in the Indo-American space? Do you think you're going to help the Indo-Americans by giving some speeches or speaking events on the financial literacy?
Yes, I actually could definitely to public speak. And I think it'll be great help if I share my knowledge to the Indo-American community and help them out. I mean, let's just take budgeting for an example. Not everybody knows about it, but if I tell them about it, tell them the percentages on what to budget, and I think it'll be great.
Okay, excellent. So, if you okay, before this, wanted to ask you, have you done any speaking abilities in your school or any of the forums?
Yes, I actually have. It was not in the school, I would say. Perhaps it was in my FBLA, the
Mhm.
club. When I actually went to a competition one time, I actually just speak in front of a bunch of people. It was this competition where I had to come up with a scenario in a mind after a major problem just happened and how to fix the problem. And I would have to demonstrate a solution in front of judges.
What
So
was
I
the
do,
applause from the judges? Were they happy to see your solutions?
they were definitely happy. Yes, they were definitely happy. I mean, I gave them good solutions, two very good solutions. And I think it just goes on to show you like you have to be quick and thinking on your feet all the time because in these events you don't get a lot of time to think. You just have to create the solution in like I think 5 minutes. So pretty quick.
So, if you could meet any of the financial investor till today, who would that be?
Hmm. I would say definitely Warren Buffett
I thought so.
because I mean I want to find out what it took him to be so smart and successful. I also want to get some knowledge from him on what I'm doing wrong and what I should start doing as of my current age.
Excellent. I wish that you meet him, right?
Thank
So,
you.
do you have any finance favorite quote from any of the books you read or any of the YouTube videos you have learned?
Ooh, I've never been asked that before. I would say my favorite quote is from a very own founding father, Benjamin Franklin,
Mhm.
and it goes something like, "An investment in knowledge pays the best interest."
Excellent.
Hmm.
So, do you think there is a connection between your finance and other hobbies, the interest you have? Do you think is there any connection between finance and other hobbies which interest you?
I think that there's definitely a connection between finance and my other hobbies. Let's just take soccer, for example. I absolutely love the sport. I love watching it all the time, and I dedicate time to it. I play every weekend. And same as finance, I absolutely love. I'm passionate about this. I'm eager to always learn more, expand my knowledge base, and I also dedicate a lot of time towards it.
Excellent. I think, in the interest of time, Shashwat, you have been amazing, and the knowledge, the confidence, what you have given, I'm sure that this will inspire. I already got many comments, likes, and also appreciating that having a young people on my show, and I'll be bringing
Thank
more
you.
of your kind to understand more. If you remember, I touched upon the culture, I touched upon the school, Indo
Yep.
American culture, and then what's your interest groups. I wanted to talk and learn more from you guys. Especially, I inspire when I talk to you guys. The amount of knowledge what you have, the amount. See, especially, I wanted to tell the audience when I met Shashwat, he comes with me, he follow-ups with me, he brings a book and pen and paper, and he asks for the clear details. Those are the things I started learning from you guys. And believe me, I come also for the mock tests, mock interview tests, which you give in the
Yeah.
10th grade in Lambert School. That inspires me, the amount of knowledge, the amount of confidence you have, which also gave me last year to download the Chat GPT, because you guys are already speaking. I was very, very behind, way behind. And definitely I wanted to keep my inspiration high, and also the community inspiration high, talking to people like you, Shashwat. And I wish you good luck in the financial literacy. And I also encourage you to do more videos on which you like and share it with the community. And I can help you guide whatever you want. I'm always there. Again, thank you, all the viewers. Before we close this, I want Shashwat to give a final message to the community. What do you want to tell on the financial literacy to all your colleagues or juniors or seniors? What is your advice for them?
Before I say my advice, I just want to thank you, Mr. Puram, for those kind words, and I really appreciate it. And getting back to the advice, I mean, if you're really curious and really interested about finance, chase your dreams, chase your passion. It'll 100%, I promise you, it'll help you out in the future.
Thank you. Thank you, Shashwat, for your time, and
Thank
also
you.
bring some people from the different interests so that we can talk on this show. This show not only gives an inspiration to the young entrepreneurs, young high schoolers, junior, middle schools, and also I wanted to bring their talent onto this show, right? Many of the parents will be looking from what they want. Sometimes they speak to me and understand, they tell their problems, right? The problems what they face with today's generation versus the generation where we have brought up. I wanted to bridge that communication. I wanted to bridge that culture so that we have a healthy community in the Indo-American. Again, with that said, thank you everyone for watching this, and looking forward more of you to share your advices and your journey. Thank you, Shashwat. Have a
Thank
wonderful
you.
weekend.
Thank
Bye.
you, guys. Thank you, Mr. Puram.
Thank you.